Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and as you can see, I am in my garage, and I've come up with an idea for a video I think some of you guys will find quite interesting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this carpet right here, and this Olefin commercial grade carpet. As you can see, I'm actually parking on it with my van. I've been parking on it for a few months now, actually, and I've run various pieces of equipment over it over the last few months. I've done a couple of videos with it, but it's probably been at least a couple of months now since I did that. So anyway, I'm going to give it a vacuuming, and then we're going to clean it, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how I used to clean carpets. So this should be interesting for you. So we'll vacuum first. This, of course, is the Hoover Conquest. Very, very good machine. Very powerful. This is my 15-inch version, and I have a wide one as well, a 17-inch. Okay, so oh, these are little plastic. These are actually parts of a bristle brush. That's why it's not, but it sort of picked up most of them. But anyway, we'll get rid of that. Anyway, so I've been carpet cleaning with, we've owned Oxy-Dry now. We started up 28 years ago. And 28 years ago, things were not available that are now available. And so way back then, the main pad that I cleaned with, I started off with a loopy rayon blend with my very first pad. And then I very quickly discovered the Rubbermaid green stripe pads, which you can see I've got some sitting right there, and these ended up being my number one pad for, well, quite a number of years, at least 5 years, maybe even longer than that, because quite frankly there was no other choices. There was no microfiber didn't even exist basically back then. I think they didn't come along till about 10 years after I started. And the only cotton pads available were the thick loopy ones, which I did not like at all. I tried it a couple times and just didn't like them, but I did like these, and this is what I used both for residential and commercial. And they are a rayon blend with the AstroTurf. The green part is the AstroTurf fibers. They clean really fine in most cases, but when you get into really soiled areas, yeah, that's where they kind of lose their performance, I guess you could say. They aren't the most absorbent, but they do have a couple of advantages. One is they last a very long time. They're very long lasting, and you can use them till you just wear them down. They come quite thick, but they actually wear down and wear down, and they get thinner and thinner and thinner, and eventually, they're not going to work very well. This was before the two-ways came along. These are two-ways, which are the thin ones, and these work really quite well. But anyway, they had their place, but at the time, that was all that was available. And the other thing is that I cleaned way back then. I think the very first thing I started cleaning with at the very beginning was a product made by Amway called LOC, Liquid Organic Cleaner. And I used that for quite a while. And, you can actually order it online if, it's on Amazon actually now. It goes a long way. I can't remember what the mix was, but I figured out what would work and used it for quite a long time. It had the advantage of odorless, and it was an organic cleaner, neutral pH, and it actually cleaned really quite well. But anyway, eventually, within probably about 3 or 4 years, I think, I switched over to what you're looking at right there. That's a VonSchrader product. Now, I'd used VonSchrader before because it was the first carpet cleaning method I used was the VonSchrader dry foam system. And so I knew that they had a really good cleaning product. And at the time, I don't know if they still do, but way back when I was using it, they actually had a powder version. This is liquid. But they had a powder version, which was sort of between the, this is the high pH one, which is 9.5, I think it is, and the neutral pH one, or this was the one right here, really you would use on furniture. This is a neutral pH. It's the blue label, they call it, and this is the red label, which is 9.5 pH. And I figured out that, see, normally in the VonSchrader machine, which it generates it into a foam, you would put it in 3 or 4 ounces per gallon, and it generates a really nice, thick, luxurious foam, and that's how the machine works, with a foam. But I realized that that's way more detergency than you would ever need if you're using it in liquid form, which is what you're actually using it as. If you're going to shower feed it from your rotary machine, it would never be turned into a foam, so you don't need it to be that concentrated. It would actually be overwhelming the, how do I say that now? Now, you got to have the detergency in order to get the emulsification, but if you have too much detergency, you will fill up your water with the detergent and won't give the water any ability to absorb and emulsify the soil. So I realized that you needed to back off on the concentration of the product, and it would clean very well at a much lower dose. So I would use it at usually about 1 ounce per gallon, sometimes often at a half an ounce per gallon, and it cleaned in most cases fantastic. So although the product is expensive to buy, it goes a very long way. So if you're thinking this is an option as far as a cleaner. You can go to VonSchrader, VonSchrader.com, I guess. You can get their anti-resoil carpet detergent, red label, or the blue label. You can use it in your rotary machine, and I'm about to show you. It does clean just fine. It does not have, there's no issue with resoiling. It has an anti-resoiling polymer in it, so like an anti-resoiling protector. And it is a Green Seal certified product. The blue label is a neutral pH. This is 9.5. This is the one that they recommend you use on all your synthetics. They recommend the neutral for, well, wool and everything, and furniture. But anyway, let's clean the carpet, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I did actually just already wet this, so this would be basically how I would clean years ago, 15 years ago or more, 20 years ago. This is what I would clean, how I'd clean with, or what I'd clean with would be a rotary like this. This is a standard rotary. This is actually a 2-speed, but I mean, it has the normal shower feed style. Gotta drop it a bit, I think. Okay, so this is how I would clean. Now you notice it foams up or whitens up the carpet pretty quickly, actually. It's been a long time since I cleaned with this stuff, actually. Now back about 20 years ago, I actually did have a 2-speed machine too. I had a Rabbit Centaur 2-speed 20-inch machine, and I used that for a few years. This is actually a Hawk 2-speed. You can see as it's throwing out a solution as it flings it out a little bit. I have no idea what those marks are from. But I never, I wouldn't say I ever felt that I wasn't getting adequate cleaning from this. But this is a real genuine carpet cleaning product that I'm cleaning with here. And VonSchrader's been around a long time. Their cleaning products are very high quality. They really are. They're terribly expensive. However, when you use it the way I'm using it right now, at 1 ounce per gallon, that translates into very inexpensive, actually. And maybe some of you guys even have some VonSchrader cleaning product sitting on the back shelf somewhere. Maybe you used VonSchrader many years ago. I never thought that you switched over to using a rotary or an OP. I never realized that you could use that product for your pad cleaning, and you absolutely can. Now I'm going to actually switch up the speed here. Because I can. I've got the 2-speed, so sometimes I don't use this machine much, but there's cases where it's actually a really good option to use for commercial work, and it'll move. I mean, on the high speed, you can cover a lot of area really fast. That stain, by the way, is I haven't put anything on it other than what's in the tank, and it's lightened up considerably. Actually, it's almost gone now. It's been a long time since I used this product. I've been thinking of carrying some in the van and using it now and then. I've actually got a fair amount of it, and it goes a long way, so. So the carpet's looking really good. And everybody's curious to see what the pad looks like. Okay, let's stop. And we'll take a look. And then we're going to do a comparison in a second here. How does it look? It hasn't appeared to pick up an awful lot, but what happens is it does draw the soil into the pad. That it definitely does, but so that can be a little bit misleading. But let's put on an Ironman. Went over it with the Ironman and see if I pick up something with the Ironman. I've never done this before, so I'm curious as you are. So we'll go over the whole thing. Just feeding down just a little bit to make sure there's still some moisture there. And those marks there have disappeared. I can't see them. Oh no, I can see it a little bit. It's just a little bit there. Okay, let's go over here. We'll stop and we'll take a look at the pad. So, what shall we see? Very, very little. A little bit, but very little. But I mean, it's not abnormal for if you run over carpet with a pad and put another pad on, you pick something up the second time with another pad, that is. So let's try. I'm going to do the D side of the Rubbermaid here, just because I'm curious. I actually expect to use this machine this week. I might be going to help my friend Roger on a job, and I'm thinking I'll take this machine on Wednesday, I think. We'll see. Anyway, I think that the Rubbermaid green stripe pads, they definitely work. They aren't the best necessarily, but for commercial work, if you've got a carpet that's not in bad shape at all, and you've got some Rubbermaid pads, use them. They will clean just fine. And as I said, they last a very long time. It will clean it just fine as long as you're using a good product and the carpet isn't overly soiled. They're a fine choice, and you'll be able to go a long way without switching pads. So especially if you're low on pads, yeah, not a bad idea to have a few of these around, I'd say. These came actually when I bought the Challenger machine. I got that stack. Actually, I got a few others there. You can see some more smaller ones sitting there. So I got I don't know, half a dozen or more. So let's have a look. We could argue that there's a little bit on there still. Anyway, point being that Rubbermaid pad is certainly a usable tool you can choose from should you wish to. The VonSchrader, that's what I cleaned with many years ago. I was never really dissatisfied with it, I don't think, but anyway, I actually had some issues getting a hold of it for a little while there. That's one of the reasons why I switched away from it. But they've got their act back together apparently now. So anyway, so that's I just wanted to show you a little bit about that and talk a little bit about how I used to do things many years ago. And there you go. Hopefully that was interesting for some of you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a good day.